Hey everyone, it is Terry from Waving My Wand, and I recently made my own handmade plaid design for a background, which I plan on using this for a card, but you could do a larger piece and make your own plaid background for a scrapbook layout. And I'm going to show you how to do this today. I had a lot of people ask me, how did you do that? So I've put together some things, and I'm going to do different colors today just so we can see what some different color combinations look like. For this project I used the Ranger Distress Oxide in the Wilted Violet and the Faded Jeans. And for today's project I'm going to flip it up a little and use the Vintage Photo and the Spiced Marmalade. Since we have fall just around the corner, I thought this might be a fun background to use for some of my fall cards. So the first thing we're going to do is take some washi tape and just line your watercolor paper at an angle. And I'm using Strathmore 300 series watercolor paper. It's my favorite go-to, and the best way to get thinner strips of washi tape, because that's what we're going to need to do. This washi tape was just a little too wide for what I wanted to do. This is a Scotch brand. You can also use painter's tape, just something that's not going to stick too hard to your project. And we're going to just lay this on a paper trimmer and split it in half. Now if you have some thin washi strips, that will work as well, but this is a great way to make more use of your washi tape and just grab a hold of it and split it down the middle, just like that. So it just takes a minute or so to line this card. I'm going to go ahead and pause and finish lining this, and then I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back, and I have completely laid out the washi tape on one angle, and previously I measured my first couple spaces in between here, and it was about 1/2 inch. So I've pretty much just eyeballed all of these at approximately 1/2 inch. It doesn't have to be perfect. Imperfect art is sometimes a good thing. Now you do want to press down pretty firmly on your washi tape strips and make sure that you've got a good seal on your watercolor paper. If you don't, it's going to seep underneath. But we're working with distress ink today, and distress ink has it's an art form all its own for those of us who like to use it, and it gives a unique look and texture and feel to your paper. So that's what we're going to work with today. Now next I'm going to put my distress ink down, and I think I'm going to start with the brown first. I think I want to have a brown base to begin. We're just going to, we're all experimenting here together. And I'm just going to press into my craft mat a few times, get some ink there, good and coated well, and grab a water bottle and mist spray a little bit. And we're going to just smush. Have you ever heard the technique smushing? This is smushing. You just take your paper and you just smush it into the ink. Okay, we're going to go around both sides, get it good and inky. Make sure we cover our paper really well. If we miss a few spots, that's okay, no big deal. Alright, okay. Alright, I don't have it perfectly covered, but I'm okay with that. Let me wipe this up. Now we're going to dry this with a heat emboss tool, or a craft gun as it can be called. And I'm going to pause right here so that you don't have to hear that noise. Alright, I have finished drying this with my heat emboss tool, but you know what? I think I want to add another layer of this brown Vintage Photo Distress Oxide. It's almost like a beige, a little tan maybe, but I'd like to get it maybe just a little bit darker. So I'm going to go ahead and smush another layer since I've still got the washi tape on the paper. And maybe use a little less water this time. The great thing about using the Distress Oxide inks is that you can add lots and lots of layers. And the more you layer, actually, the better it looks. And I'm not even going to try to get this all over the whole thing. I'm just going to do parts of it. And I think that might add a lot more interest to this project. So I'm going to dry that again quickly, and I'll be right back. Alright, I have finished drying this, and there's still a little bit of damp droplets on the washi tape, and I don't want to get that everywhere, so I'm going to wipe it down a little bit. But I'm about to peel off the tape. Super easy. Now, if you want to use a really good high quality paper. Mixed media paper works, watercolor paper works. When you're working with distress inks, those are the best mediums to work with rather than just regular cardstock or heavy cardstock. And we're working with Plaid, so now we're going to work on putting the other angle down. So I'm going to go ahead and split some more washi tape and layer my angles this way, and I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back, and I have fully lined my paper, and y'all are not going to believe this, but I messed up and had to start over. That's why I don't do videos. Okay, but anyway, don't get overly confident and pull your tape off too fast, because then you just might tear your paper. So yeah, that happened. I'm going to make sure the seal is really good here before I ink it up. And then we're going to put down our spiced marmalade ink and spritz it with a little water. And let's smush. Oh, I hear my husband's phone ringing in the background. Do you hear it? That's what happens when you don't shut the door all the way. Alright. Oh, and I hear my husband talking. Isn't that fabulous? Alright. Let me clean up my mat, and I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back, and for the sake of speed and time, I went ahead and used my heat gun to go ahead and dry the spiced marmalade ink. And so now we're ready to go ahead and pull the tape off. And this time I'm going to be a little bit more gentle so that I don't rip my paper. This Scotch tape is a little more tacky than what I had used on my previous project. And so I need to be just a little bit more careful peeling this off. So while I finish peeling this off and don't bore you to tears, let me pause this and I will be right back. Alright, we have our finished inky project, and I'm going to go ahead and do a little water splatter because that's what I did on my last project. And so I want to do everything pretty much the same way I did before, since that's what y'all saw. So all I'm going to do is take some water, spray my hand, and splatter. Do this a couple times, and this is just going to give you a little bit of fun little water droplets on your paper. And just let it sit for just a minute, and then we're going to blot it with a paper towel and let it dry. And you don't have to do this. I think it's a fun, and it adds a little bit of added interest to your project. Okay. I could probably do more, but I'm not going to right now. Alright, we're ready to add our black lines, which every plaid design has got to have some black in it. And so I couldn't find my ruler because I have school-age kids who just think they can take off with my stuff. But I did get creative and used my, where'd it go? I keep my little, oh, here it is. Okay. I grabbed one of my metal dies, and it's got a smooth edge, and I decided to line my black markers with, or my black glitter pen actually is what I'm using today. I just used the edge of my steel die. So yes, we crafters get creative. And so basically what I did was just do random lines. Some were close together, some were far apart. You do want to give not everything be totally symmetrical, and space things out a little bit. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit here, and maybe you can see a little better what I'm doing. Can you see that? Alright. Make sure that one's a little bit wonky, but that's okay. And some of these I'm going to color in with the black glitter ink. I would put some of these lines close. Well, I tell you what, making this video has been quite interesting. I had paused my video and it died on me. So, see, this is another reason I don't do videos. This is just for you guys, because you begged me. Anyway, I have added some wider lines this time. I just thought I would see how it looks, and I really like it. And one last thing I want to do is take one of my Kaisercraft gel pens. This is kind of a peachy color, and it's they almost, to me, I think they're like a neon color. And I thought I would add some lines for this on here. So let's zoom in a little bit and see what happens. Can you see that? See if I can brighten it up a little bit. I don't know what it is about this lighting feature. It doesn't ever want to stay light for me, but so anyway, you can add some of these lines on the edge of the black lines just to make it pop a little more. I think adding a coordinating color just makes things better. And to me, starting out with less is always more, because you can always go in and add, but you can't take away. So I'm liking adding more of this. I didn't do this on my last project, but I think if I had added, say, a neon colored pen, or this a pastel color that coordinated with the blue and the purple that I had done, I think that would really have made it look even better. So, oh, I'm sorry, I'm out of the picture. My bad. Alright, so I'm adding this pastel on orange, and we'll try to do it quickly. I'm just going to do thin lines of this. I'm not planning on filling any of these in with color, so this should go pretty quickly. But although I do think I want to do it in both directions. So I'm going to try to go fast and not pause this video, because I obviously don't know how to pause and restart a video with efficiency. I have a lot to learn. But I'm a busy girl too, so I work a full-time job working with children with disabilities. I also am the church pianist. I also am very active with my son's marching band. I'll be going to Chicago. Who lives in Chicago? I'll be headed to Chicago in November. It'll be my first time to chaperone a band trip. And not sure how that's going to go, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm just not looking forward to the long ride from here in the Deep South. It's going to be, I don't know, 10 or 12 hours, something like that. Anyway, sorry if I'm babbling, but I have no one to talk to. Alright, my video keeps dying on me, so I'm going to try to be quick here. I have finished drawing the lines on this project. I thought I would give you a close-up look here with my camera. Let's see if I can adjust this lighting here. And I've used, since my glitter pen died, my black one, I've had to use some other black markers to achieve what I was looking for. But you get the general idea of how to do this now. And it's super easy. I added silver at the end, silver glitter marker. And I hope you like it. This is Terri from Waving My Wand. Over and out.